Hey y'all, I'm Hope, and today I'm doing the Your Answer Can't Be Books tag. This was originally created by BookBuds, and I'll link the original video down in the description below, but this looked like a lot of fun. So the premise is that there's several questions, and none of your answers can be books. So it's about, like, what else do you do? What's your life like outside of your booktube stuff? So I thought this looked like a lot of fun, so let's just dive into it. So the first question is, what is something that you own way too many of other than books? And my answer for this one is skeins of yarn. So I have a whole cabinet. We have a craft room, and I have like a whole cabinet in there that's just nothing but yarn. It's tons of it. Question 2 is, what is something that you do for fun that's not reading a book? Well, per having all of that yarn, or the reason for having all of that yarn, is that I do a lot of knitting and crocheting, and I've also just taken up weaving. I just finished my first piece today. You can see it back here. This is a scarf that I just finished that needs to be washed, and then I gotta cut off all the little loose ends on the back. But yeah, so I do a lot of kind of fiber crafting. So that's one of my hobbies outside of reading, and then my other kind of main one is that I love to play video games, and I'm actually really interested in going into game studies for research. So yeah, video games is my other answer to this. I love video games, and actually at the moment I'm currently playing Elden Ring kind of off and on. It's one that I kind of dip into here and there. I'm also playing Resident Evil 8 because I need to finish that one, and Judgment, which I love all of these. Oh, and Ghostwire Tokyo. Much like the way I read, I tend to play a bunch of games all at the same time, and it's just dependent on what my mood is. So I'm kind of in the midst of all of those. I'm really close to the end of Judgment, and I think I'm pretty close to the end of Resident Evil 8 as well. So really enjoying all of those. Question number 3 is, what is something special or important on your nightstand that's not a book? I have very little on my nightstand. I have 3 things basically, and it's my charging cords. I have a little block that holds them down, lamp, and the thing that I chose for this question, which is this really old clock that used to be my mom's alarm clock when I was a kid, and she was gonna get rid of it, but then I was like, hey, can I have it? So it's kind of retro looking. It is made to look like wood. It's not, but it also has a function on it where you can have, instead of the alarm sound, which is really obnoxious, you can have it wake you up by playing the radio first thing in the morning. So I think that's really fun. I don't actually use that function at all. I have my Fitbit, and I usually use the silent alarms on that. But I just think that this alarm clock is cool, and it kind of reminds me of my childhood. So that's the one interesting thing on my nightstand. Question 4 is, what's something that you buy at a bookstore other than books? Typically bookmarks. I own a lot of bookmarks. I just made a TikTok about this one recently, actually. I have a pot of bookmarks on my main bookshelves, and then I don't know if they're visible here. No, it's on a higher shelf, but on one of the shelves up here, I have another bowl of my smaller, shorter bookmarks that weren't tall enough to fit in the book pot. So some magnetic ones, and I have some business cards and things that I use as bookmarks. So I have them sitting here. But yeah, so I have a bunch of bookmarks that I picked up at various bookstores. Question number 5 is, what's a fun gift that you received that isn't a book or a gift card for books? I have kind of 2 that I just one of them I brought in here, and the other one is just sitting on my desk. So the older one is, I have this really cool little felt doll. My college roommate, who was a good friend of mine, we looked out. We had randomly assigned roommates, and we ended up being really good friends, and we still chat whenever we can, although I know she's often very busy and her schedule doesn't usually align with mine, so we don't get to talk very often. But she has an Etsy shop called Little Felt World, so definitely go check her out because all of her stuff is amazing. But she makes these adorable little felt dolls, and she gave me this one for Christmas one year, and he's just so cute. I named him Crane after Jonathan Crane from Batman because of the fear gas thing. He's got little skulls. He's a little poison jackalope. So I just love this little guy. He's so cute, and this was actually the inspiration for the name of my channel. So I have that one. And then this one's from this year, this most recent Christmas. My boyfriend gave me a little Sirfetch'd little guy. He sits on my desk, and this is because he got me into Pokemon, and I was playing Pokemon. Which one do I have? Shield? Sword? Sword? I can't remember which one I have. It's the blue one, I think. Anyway, I was playing, and I got a Farfetch'd, and I found out that you could have a Sirfetch'd who had a leek sword. And I have this whole story from when I studied abroad. I had this giant leek, like I ordered leeks from Tesco, and I got this leek that was like longer than my arm. It was huge. And so I thought it was really funny that you could get this little Pokemon that had a leek sword. And so there's some really specific things that you have to do to get Farfetch'd to transform into Sirfetch'd, or evolve into Sirfetch'd. So there was this whole, like, adventure of him trying to help me get my Sirfetch'd to evolve, or my Farfetch'd to evolve into Sirfetch'd. We did finally succeed. I do have a Sirfetch'd, and then he got me this little cute little Sirfetch'd to commemorate that. So, question 6 is, what's a YouTube channel that you watch that's not related to books? I watch a lot of gaming YouTube channels and a lot of fiber crafting YouTube channels, as might be predicted based on my other interests. My favorite gaming channel is RKG, which they're really funny. It's these 3 guys that used to work for IGN, and I'm going to link their channel down below because you should absolutely check them out if you're interested in video games. But these 3 guys used to work for IGN UK, and when I went to Ireland to study abroad, I'd never heard of them, but then their content started getting recommended to me, I think because of proximity, like I was closer to the UK, so I started getting their videos recommended, and they did this show for IGN called Prepare to Try, and so they would play these hard games and see if Rory, one of the guys, Rory, could get through them in like X amount of time, or like defeat various challenges. And so I started watching them when I was studying abroad, and that was very much like my comfort watch stuff. I just really enjoyed their channel and the dynamic that the 3 of them have together, and it very much became my comfort watch. Like whenever I was really anxious and missing home, I just would sit down with like a cider and a snack and just watch RKG and crochet, because I had bought some crochet materials while I was over there too. So I keep saying RKG because that's their new channel. They actually all left IGN and now they're on their own channel, RKG, and they still do that format, but they've added some other shows of different formats that are also really fun. I think they've just started one called 3 Ways, where they're trying to, or they all play like the same game, but they play their own way. And then they've done some, like, we played all of the X series games, so like they did one for all of the Alien games, things like that. So that their channel is just like really fun, and I really enjoy it. It's my favorite video game channel, but I also really like PlayStation Access and Outside Xbox and Outside Extra as well. And same thing for all of those, it's just that you really get that they're friends, and I find that vibe to be very comforting. Like I just really like the vibe of those 3 channels. So the last question here is to tag 5 booktubers that you want to learn more about. I don't know who to tag here. Also, I feel weird tagging people. Like, I don't want anybody to feel like they have to do the tag. But, like, if you're watching this and you want to do the tag and you think it seems fun, consider yourself tagged, because I think that this one is a lot of fun and I would recommend doing it. So those are all the questions, and thank you so much for watching this video. I know it's probably a pretty short one today, but really grateful if you watched it this far, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!